What's good, YouTube? It's the boy TooSmooveEli back with another reaction. Today we got another day 12 of YNW Melly's trial. Let's just get into it, man.
Continues. Melly's friend Trayvon Glass, who was in the red car, took the stand and gave very vague answers to the prosecutor and the defense. It was very clear that this guy didn't want to be there and didn't want to be doing this. Kind of forced to because he was scared that he's going to get arrested again because he's out on bail for another crime. Then the lead detective talked about the phone records and the map of the crime scene for around 2 hours. Let's get right into this video. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, subscribe right now.
Hey, let me know if y'all think Melly's safe. I said safe. If he
for years,
y'all know what the hell I'm trying to say.
In May of this year with a crime.
I'm going to when he took the stand, bro.
So I don't really know what to expect here. He's also a producer. I'm really annoyed that the monitor is blocking his face, I'm going to be honest.
Have you been made any promises in exchange for your testimony here today?
No.
Were you involved in the music business at all?
Making beats.
All right. And when you were making beats, were you working with a specific group or music group or people?
One person to be particular, but Julie.
I thought he produced it for Melly. Apparently it's only Juvie.
Over a decade.
And this is back in October.
He's known Juvie for a decade.
That's great.
Was Juvie in SAC there?
Correct.
All right. And do you recall around what time you guys got to this?
I'm not sure when we arrived.
Okay. And who was the artist that was recording that night?
Everybody was artists. You know?
All right. Did you guys end up staying for 12 hours?
Back in, man.
What changed and why did you end up staying?
To the best of my knowledge, people were sleeping, so we ended up going home because, sleeping in the studio.
People were sleeping. Who was sleeping?
Everybody but me, Anthony, and Chris.
Who was upset that people were sleeping?
Objection, leading.
Who was upset over?
There was no testimony that anybody was upset.
Can you rephrase your question?
Was someone upset that people were sleeping?
I guess you could say that.
And who was that person?
Zach was mad that everyone was sleeping.
I woke him up and let him know it's time to go.
All right. And how did you do that?
Yeah, he went and woke him up, shook him up.
All right.
Nigga said it. How did he do that? She trying to think he just pistol whipped him and said, "Get the hell up! Wake the hell up! Wake the hell up!"
Agent working through water on some people to wake them up?
Objection, Your Honor. This is deliberate. Can you go sidebar?
Counsel, if you make an objection, make an objection. Don't be arguing in front of the jury. I told you that before. All right?
Can we go sidebar?
No speaking objections. No sidebar. Sure.
Oh, Jesus. The judge ain't playing games today. He just got
Them boys
mad
getting
at,
hostile.
David Howard for objecting all aggressive. It seems like the prosecutor's asking questions about stuff that was never in any deposition or testimony or anything like that beforehand.
And who's that person?
That's my knowledge, man.
Okay. And the person I'm referring to, what is he wearing?
Jacket.
All right.
This is from the actual night, I think. This was the jacket he was wearing when he walked out.
Jewelry, black jacket in the left, sack in the middle, jean jacket.
Do you recognize the people in photograph image 3?
Same one you just showed, same person.
And who's that person?
Melly was wearing a Lyrical Lemonade jacket when he did this. Oh, hell nah.
If I were to show you your prior statement, would that refresh your recollection?
Good.
You can just tell he doesn't want to be doing this. He's like trying to be vague about names.
Or he not trying to rap.
Trayvon right there, the guy's on the stand.
See it?
Do you see that person on the video?
See the back of his head?
Do you see the back of the head of the person wearing the jeans jacket?
Correct.
Was that person the same person that you previously identified in state?
Sustain. Rephrase it.
Okay. We previously looked in state 72 at an individual you identified as Melly.
Objection.
Sustain.
Is that jacket that was in image number 1 and image number 3 the jacket that Melly was wearing on October 26th of 2018?
That's my knowledge.
To be honest, though, none of this proves anything yet. We've all seen this footage. We all know it's Melly going in the car. This guy on the stand hasn't really helped the prosecution much at all yet.
Supposed to be home.
Okay, and who's home?
It's Melly's house.
Okay, and was everybody in that red car headed to Melly's house?
So that's my knowledge.
Okay, and what about the Jeep? Where was your understanding that Jeep was headed? The gray Jeep?
Same spot.
Okay. So both cars left the studio with the intention of heading to what you identify as Melly's house?
I just know, like, niggas like him. Well, if he wasn't in on whatever, you know what I mean? And what I'm like, niggas who have nothing to do with it, but they was somewhere near them niggas at some point, the same times. It's like, bro, it's like, damn, because like, why am I here on some shit? You don't want to rat, you don't want to lie, you know what I mean? You lie, you going to jail. You rat, you right, you know what I mean? It's like, bro, nigga, I ain't did shit. I wasn't nigga nothing. Leave me alone. Let me go home.
The mood or the vibe at the studio?
5 years ago.
You just gotta lie.
Okay,
if they did something, you got
conversation that you observed at the studio?
Just like a real day. Studio, smoking drink.
Were you awake?
Nigga, bring me to court so dead ass. I'm literally just gonna be like, I don't know. Like, if it ain't shown, I don't know. Like, if I was him, where y'all supposed to go? I'd be like, I don't know, nigga. I was just chilling and we was just, I don't remember. I don't know. They can't really get you for nothing if you just don't know. I don't know if they can.
Okay. Do you know at what point you fell asleep?
I don't.
Right? At Melly's house. Who was inside your vehicle, the red Mitsubishi?
Same people you seen get in the car.
Right?
Type
Police,
shit.
AD, Tay, and yourself.
Yes.
So still 4 people.
Still 4 people.
Is that the vehicle that you left the studio in?
Yes.
So you went upstairs to where?
In Julie's room?
Right? Was Judy in his room?
No.
Safe to say that your phone was getting a lot of phone calls, blowing up.
Yeah.
All right, and at some point you answered the phone, correct?
Yeah. I ended up at the hospital.
All right. Where do you go after the hospital?
I ended up somewhere. Somebody's house.
All right. Do you recall whose house that was?
I don't know whose house it was, but
She's fishing for him to talk about Fredo Bang's house, because apparently Melly went to Fredo Bang's house like the
Fredo
morning
out of
of
this,
the murder.
man.
He was wearing other clothes. Like he wasn't wearing the clothes that was on the video in the car. Obviously, people fucking change their clothes, so that doesn't really say too much, but it's like, it confirms that basically he disappeared into the woods, showed up at Fredo Bang's house, and changed clothes at some point.
You know Fredo's name and or any nicknames?
that's all I know about him.
Was that the first time you saw Melly after you guys left the studio?
Yeah.
Was Melly wearing the same clothes or different clothes than when you saw him at the studio?
It was a little bit. Nah, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. You guys
Wasn't wearing the same clothes.
Okay. Do you recall what he was wearing?
Just had on some shorts.
He didn't have the jacket on or the pants.
At some point, does Melly come back to Fredo's house?
Around this time, I'm still breathing, and I guess they come back.
Right?
Nigga, I don't even know how they remember this shit. How the hell do they remember this? Nigga, how does he remember this? Bro, you asked me if one of my family members is wearing the same clothes a time, I would not know. What the hell?
Only productive thing I've heard from this guy is that he confirms that Melly was at that house and Melly had a different set of clothes on.
I'm not sure if they left. I was bleeding.
She's bringing up the potential bag that Melly had across his chest leaving the studio, had a gun in it, I would imagine.
That's actually.
Okay. Can it also be commonly referred to?
Objection.
Sustain.
Are you familiar with the term man?
Objection.
Well, this was stopping her from saying a certain word there. I don't know what word it was. That was so loud, dude.
Did you see track on October 26, 2018 at any point? Do you recall in that statement giving a different response when asked?
Sustain.
So the prosecutors pointed out that he gave two different statements about whether or not he saw Track on that day or didn't see Track, which I think is kind of important because they say Track apparently was busy hiding some guns.
Now, when they came back, do you recall any conversations that Melly had in your presence that first time, after the first time?
I don't recall.
Do you have a Facebook page back in October 26 of 2018?
I believe so.
Oh, she's about to have Facebook messages? Oh, here we go.
And who's Freddy Fargo?
It was me.
Okay, so was that your was that a, how you identified yourself on Facebook?
I'm sorry.
And who were you having this conversation with?
So it was texting Melly.
I don't believe shit but what you tell me, N-word. Just these crackers got everybody mind wondering, do you know what the they saying? Come on. He said that to Melly. I ain't gonna never see my N-words again. Y'all N-words got stories up. I don't know no more. Come tell me real N-word shit. Tighten up, real talking with all this text and shit. N-word, pull up and tell me some. You mean my N-word mama hurt? She just want to hear from y'all boys. If not, I'm everybody ass. I put that on everything N-word. So
That boy heated.
3 days after the murders, that shit is already hitting the fan, and people have ideas that, you know, that there wasn't a drive-by that occurred. He said, you gotta talk up, bro. Real shit. All this shit falling on me. Melly looks like he tried to call him. Melly says, I showed them N-words more love than they parents. Man, tell them if they think I did some shit like that, we can go to war, N-word. You know I would never do nothing like that. Melly said he'll go to war.
Were you looking for answers?
Not just me.
Okay. Were people kind of pressing you for answers?
Correct.
Do you know the relationship between Jamie King and Anthony Williams?
I don't.
So she was fishing for him to talk about Melly's mom's beef with Stack Chaser.
Move the monitor in front of the witness's face.
I don't mind. I mind.
Specific issue that you
That
have,
nigga
Mr.
said I do
I
mine.
do. I do.
So,
He doesn't want his face on there.
On this side of my face, so when I'm seeing, because I'm blind, my left eye, I'm trying not to.
so you don't see out of your left side,
Correct.
left eye?
Correct.
He just said he can't see out of his left eye. I kind of feel bad for this guy because he's trying to cover his face right now. I feel bad. I feel bad for the guy. I don't care what anyone says.
They
Inquiring
own him.
of Mr. Demons Melly, what had gone on, because you were trying to get information, right?
Get away from me,
It
nigga.
says I show them more love than their parents, right? You see that?
I see it, bro.
The next
Type
statement
shit.
by tell them fuck that. If they think I did some shit like that, we can go to war. You know I would never do nothing like that. See that?
I see it.
Statement mentioned that you got arrested recently and charged criminally. Correct?
Correct.
And on May 30th, not too long ago, of this year.
Yeah.
And one of the charges you were that was made against you was obstruction of the service of the execution of search. And while you were on bond, you are of the opinion that if you don't come here,
I'll be in jail.
Objection, Your Honor, apologies.
That's the only reason I am.
So now it all makes sense. He's scared to go to jail because he's already out on bail. So that's why he came here. Someone told him if he doesn't show up, it's like arrested again.
you're of the impression that if you don't come here and sit in that chair and testify, you're going to go to jail.
Correct.
Oh, had gotten into the red vehicle in the rear seat, right?
So 5 years ago, to the best of my knowledge, yeah, that's what I said.
You're
Type
saying the
shit.
statement was a few days after, right?
What did you do?
The statement that you gave to the police was a few days after the incident,
Yes.
and you said then that you had gotten into the rear of the red vehicle.
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Okay, and then you watched this trial unfold on TV over the last couple of weeks, right?
No.
You didn't watch any of this
I
trial?
watched it, but I didn't watch it unfold, or whatever you're trying to say.
Okay, you watched this.
On the phone.
Okay, so your recollection had begun to fail you only a few days after the incident,
Objection.
as regards that issue at least,
Objection.
where you sat in the vehicle a few days after.
Objection, Counsel President.
You can answer
Answer what?
that question. Is that correct,
Did
sir?
I forget?
Did you
Or did
forget?
I have made a mistake and say I was in the back and remember that I was in the front?
None of this matters in the long run, but I think Melly's team is just trying to make this guy look like he's forgetting stuff, not trustworthy.
Ricky is the one that woke you up with phone calls, not Drew that woke you up in person.
Correct.
Okay. So you smoke a lot of marijuana, right?
Possibly.
Well, you smoke it anytime you get a chance, I think is how you phrase it.
It's your answer. Yeah.
That was
Like
yours.
what?
I smoke when I smoke. Twice, 3 times, maybe.
Okay. On the day in question, you had smoked at least 2 joints, right?
Yo.
That's your guess?
That's what you said, right?
I don't recall.
You've never seen Melly with a gun.
Objection, Your Honor.
Same.
Have you ever seen Melly with a gun?
Objection, Your Honor.
It's the same objection.
Have you ever seen Track with a gun?
Possibly. Yes. Maybe. Maybe so.
You don't know of any friction between Melly and Anthony D. Williams at the time.
I know it.
And you don't know of any friction between Melly and Christopher Thomas at the time.
I know
You didn't see any friction to that night of that magnitude?
it. I did.
You did?
I didn't.
Oh, you did. Did you smoke before you came here today?
I did not.
Have another. Thank you.
I should have.
About 3 hours the other day, coming from reportedly his phone. I don't know why we have to go through all of this again. And there's also a short video of a little baby on that also. I don't know what the relevancy.
Now they're talking about Cortland Henry's phone, dude. Holy shit.
I don't know what we're doing, Judge, quite honestly. So I would object on relevancy.
My name is Millie, and I'm gonna turn myself in. But I'm gonna soak this because these brothers are arresting me. And I have to go to a private jet, and I don't want them to see me.
He's saying something about turning himself in. So now Detective Moretti's about to come in, who is the lead detective on this case. I made a video about him previously. If you want to see his full deposition, it'll be up in the corner somewhere.
Really don't
Yeah,
care
so
about
this is a pretty important testimony right here for the prosecutor because this guy did all the hard work here in putting all this information together.
I've been through the basic Celebrate examiner's course to conduct a digital forensic examination of the cell phone. I've had a bunch of specialized training in regards to cell sites. Been to a forensic mapping course. CellHawk is just a mapping program working off of
I don't care what he's
Google Maps.
talking about, honestly.
Melly was in the car.
This is the beige one that's pictured at 2/18/40.
No, ma'am, we did not recover that.
Was a black satchel recovered.
No, ma'am.
Specifically the one that is seen in the individual in the black and white jacket.
Correct.
Even Juvie's bag was never
me
keep
see.
all that shit, ho. On God, on my mama, he was on her shit. Dumbass ho, you so selfish and young-minded. Don't even think about what I'm going through. I'm not finna leave bored with all that after you stuck me so much being with, but he's think that's all I think about.
But can
Is a hearsay out of court statement.
Hey man, that'll wrap it up. I don't know. I don't care for the rest of that. I just wanted to see his friend statement. But let me know what y'all think. Let me think. Do y'all think he's guilty or not guilty? Let me know down below in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, down below. Thanks. We out.